Throughout his YouTube career, Vitaly has been a victim of his own idiocy, staging phony pranks and assaulting random individuals. He's the kind of creator who will do anything for views and worry about the consequences later. But if you have zero tolerance for stupidity or reckless stunts, then anything you say or film can and will be used against you, far beyond the sacrifice of reputation. Hello, and I create weekly YouTube documentaries. Today, we're covering the story of YouTube's most iconic and idiotic troublemaker, Vitaly. We'll dive into how he repeatedly sabotaged his own career for attention, why he never seems to learn from his mistakes, and how he ended up destroying his entire life. Vitaly made a name for himself through various ventures, including professional skateboarding and even acting in adult films. But his online career truly began when he started experimenting with outrageous content. In the early 2010s, prank videos were blowing up, and Vitaly capitalized. His first viral hit was the infamous Miami zombie prank, where he chased random people in public, pretending to be a flesh-eating monster. But what made this prank go viral wasn't just the shock, it was the real-life horror that had just occurred days earlier. A Miami resident named Ronald Popo had been brutally attacked by Rudy Eugene, who was later dubbed the Miami Zombie for eating part of Popo's face. The city was in a state of fear and alert. And Vitaly knew that, but instead of compassion, he saw opportunity. While the video gave him his big break, it also twisted his sense of what viral meant. Harassing people, exploiting trauma, and feeding off fear became his formula. And it worked, for a while. He racked up tens of millions of views with uploads like Russian Hitman Prank, 60-second prank on a woman in front of cops, and the now classic Gold Digger Prank. He even landed a lead role in the movie Natural Born Pranksters, alongside other viral personalities like Roman Atwood and Dennis Roddy. Together, their pranks captivated the internet. But what happens when online fame outgrows the platform? By 2019, Vitaly had become a YouTube icon, hitting 10 million subscribers through pure chaos. But that rise came at a cost. Vitaly's antics often landed him in jail. One of his most notable arrests was for climbing the Hollywood sign, and he also filmed himself scaling pyramids in Egypt during the 2014 World Cup. He thanked the world, the universe, and Mother Nature for his success, while standing on ancient ruins. But the lessons never stuck. Vitaly learned that being a public spectacle was the fastest route to clicks, no matter how idiotic the stunt. And because he'd never faced major legal consequences, his belief was only reinforced. That was about to change. On April 12, 2020, Miami police were called to Vitaly's neighborhood after a disturbing 911 call. A woman could be heard reporting, "Somebody's outside beating the sh*t out of somebody." A female. On the ground. He was punching her in the face left and right. The assailant? Vitaly himself. According to both his own later statements and police records, he had consumed several grams of psychedelic mushrooms. The hallucinations were so vivid that he left his home in a delusional state. Outside, he approached a woman jogging and, despite her attempts to avoid him, he brutally assaulted her with his fists. The injuries she sustained to her face and eyes were so horrific, they couldn't even be shown on YouTube. Vitaly fled but was apprehended shortly after. "Put your hands behind your back," an officer demanded as they cuffed him on the spot. The incident exploded online. Fans abandoned him. Influencers distanced themselves. And the woman filed a lawsuit. Vitaly suddenly found himself facing serious legal costs, while also losing revenue due to YouTube demonetizing many of his older prank videos and sponsorships dropping off. But that wasn't the only near-death moment for Vitaly. In another stunt gone wrong, he nearly died in a skydiving accident while promoting one of his adult websites. The parachute that was supposed to display a branded banner was too small, it didn't provide enough air resistance, nearly ending his life in free fall. With his career, and his body, in pieces, Vitaly took a 2-year hiatus. He spent time in physical therapy and dealt with the lawsuit. Then, on July 6, 2022, he finally made his official return via a video on Facebook. In it, he explained his absence. "You think it's all cool," he said, but in the end I wasn't really happy. Because of drugs and alcohol, I got into serious legal trouble, a trouble I'll remember, regret, and live with for the rest of my life. Vitaly apologized to fans and promised to become a better man. But what stood out was what he didn't say. He never mentioned the woman he attacked, not directly. I'm here today to apologize to all the people that are listening to me right now, to the whole world, to all the people I let down. I'm so sorry. I was left alone and broken after the incident, and I have nobody to blame but myself. People I thought were my friends weren't my friends. I just fell into depression. I lost everything. It was obvious Vitaly wanted to worm his way back into viewers' hearts. And while some welcomed him, one line gave away his true motivation. I've been sober for 7 months and I feel better than ever. I started to be motivated again. I wanted to make videos again for fun, not for business, like when I first started. But whether it was truly for fun or another payday, Vitaly was back online. By early 2023, he shifted platforms, from YouTube to Kick, and began live streaming IRL content. You might have hoped this would mean a new strategy, a matured approach. But changing old habits is hard. Vitaly was back to tormenting strangers, just like the old days. "How are you doing?" "I'm fine," he asked a woman on stream. "Would you mind if I eat your booty?" When she expressed her discomfort, he doubled down. "I apologize for your pink shirt, which I mistakenly assumed meant welcome to Miami. I'm here to pick up black chicks like you and eat them out like there's no tomorrow." In 2024, he rebranded again, this time as a catcher, setting up sting operations with larger streamers like Aiden Ross. His older content wasn't sticking anymore, but rage bait and confrontation still brought clicks. "Yeah, stay down, guy," he screamed in one stream. "Russia, you disgusting piece of. You're the slime of the earth and deserve death." He continued ranting. "He looks like a charming little 50-year-old boy. I didn't say you wanted the ass, but I know you do." Now armed with a target and an audience cheering for chaos, Vitaly found a new way to monetize outrage. He kept pushing it. And it worked. Millions of views. Thousands of new followers. Eventually, he landed a Kick streaming deal, thanks to Aiden Ross. "I've generated 400 million impressions on Kick," he boasted. "Where do I send the invoice?"